Hello everyone, and welcome to Critical Role, an online show on Twitch where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors roll dice and play Dungeons & Dragons. Unfortunately, we are down a Percy this evening. Our buddy Taliesin picked up a con plague in Alaska this past week. He had a great time, but came back very ill and has been trying to get better, which makes the current storyline a little interesting, but we'll work it out. It's fine. Without further ado, let's go ahead and cut to the intro, and then we'll jump right into the next episode of Critical Role. After the party returned from their journey into Vasselheim for quite a few weeks, they discovered upon returning that the illustrious Briarwoods, current owners of Castle Whitestone and overseers of the entire city of Whitestone, and sticking point in Percy's background, were coming to Iman to meet for essentially a political banquet with Sovereign Uriel, Taldore, to discuss construction of a bridge, and it was a very political endeavor. There was a week of preparation in going into this event to see exactly what the Briarwoods were about. Information was gathered at this banquet. Vax went on his own little adventure into the Briarwoods room, in which they nearly killed him.
Hey everybody.
I noticed the shirt till now. The party rushed out to his aid. Much violence ensued. The Briarwoods eventually escaped through some sort of magical means that was not uncovered. However, they are no longer in the picture. The party was left with a destroyed carriage, a young carriage driver who had his hand shot off by Percy, and was then told to the guards to haul off and bring to their keep. Uriel was eventually drawn out and confused by the sudden chaos, and vehemently requested that Vox MACHINA return the next morning to go over what has transpired. After which the party, during this event, had encountered a tiefling by the name of Lilith, who was masquerading as one of the servants within the palace of Taldore, aided them in the battle, and revealed that she was being hunted by her sisters in a distant land, and revealing herself here, opened up her physical presence to be pinpointed and then immediately sought and hunted by whoever was after her. The party then brought her back to the keep. They were on the way back before they were encountered by this bounty hunter and a small team of individuals that were coming with him to seek down, capture Lilith, and bring her back to her sisters. The party then defended her in this circumstance, brutally murdering one of them. Brutally murdering two of them, one of which was then raised and then sent off as a present to the sisters by Lilith. And one was salvaged, not given an honorable death, and sent to find his way somewhere northwest of Iman, possibly towards Vasselheim or wherever else he may find his
The Crucible in Vasselheim.
Exactly. They then gave Lilith the opportunity to come stay the night to rest in the keep, and they all make their way back to Greyskull Keep for the evening, and that was where we left off. As the evening progresses, you all manage to get your rest and kind of gather your thoughts over the rather stressful experience you had previous evening within the palace. As you all wake up and start getting your meals and kind of gathering what you want to do for the day, two individuals have not come down for their meal, Lilith and Percy.
We're missing two, a male and a female.
Oh. No.
Well, I don't know. Percy had a...
Percy was upset.
Maybe
Well-
he needed some comforting.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna go upstairs and see if our guest, Lilith, is alright. I don't want to disturb Percy just yet, but...
Alright. You knock on the door.
Lilith!
Moment passes. No response.
I peek my head in.
Peek in and look.
Did you check the traps?
Roll no, I'm kidding.
Damn it!
Glancing in, the sheets are clean and set. The bed's been made, and there is a small piece of parchment that is folded on the edge of the bed.
Go and read it.
Read it. It reads, Vox MACHINA. Thank you all for your hospitality and protection through this past evening. I would stay, but the longer I remain, the more danger I am in. And as such, put all of you in as well. I shall travel across the Osmit Sea to seek the guidance of my cousin Zara, in hopes of finally getting out from under my sister's baneful gaze. Nevertheless, I wish you all the finest of journeys, and I hope we meet again soon. Lilith.
She's so cute. I tell everyone that she's gone. Gone, gone, gone.
No, she's in
Gone.
Percy's room. Scanlan, let's go see if he's banging.
All right, let's go.
You run up and Percy's room is the door is already partially ajar.
Where is she? Where is she?
Wham!
Yo, so and so.
He's not there is the first thing you notice. However, what you do see are a series of different books of sketches and designs and kind of half concocted blueprints for different things are kind of crumpled and torn across the room. The bed sheets are thrown off the bed. It looks like the room has been continuously tossed through some sort of frenzied action, either sinking something or just out of emotional frustration. This room is left in far more disarray than you're used to seeing true to Percy's character. You head down to the basement area, and to the right is the cell, to the left is the workshop. The workshop door is currently closed. There's a small kind of slider, kind of eye vent where you can kind of peek through.
Can I reach the eye vent?
You can if you leap hard enough and catch it on the edge.
I boost him up.
Looking inside, you can see the forge is aglow. You hear the tangs of metal being hammered against the anvil, and you can see the form of Percy kind of framed against the backlighting of the forge.
Maybe we should just leave him be. Seems focused, driven, like a madman.
Oh, I get it. Like a madman.
I don't think you do.
At which point, a voice rings out from across the room. Percy, unmoving, still continuing his work, shouts over his shoulder, "Please, leave me be. I have a lot to think about right now. I need some time."
All right, if you're making things, a little ladder for the little perch here might be nice, just in the future. But not now, that seems low priority.
He stops his banging, walks over and scribbles something on a paper, and goes back banging. "Noted." Ting. Ting.
I drop Scanlan. And I lean and I go, "Beware the water, it burns."
Yes, it does, Grog.
Okay.
Good boy.
Did anyone else just happen to hear what he said in that fight last night?
What did you say?
What are you doing? You have no reason to be here. Your soul is now forfeit. Really, that last part is the most important one. The first stuff is like, fairly average. What does that mean?
Maybe his soul is forfeit.
To what?
Death?
Maybe we keep an eye on Percy.
Okay.
That's a fair point, though. We'll keep an eye on him. He seems to be in a fragile state right now.
We go to see Uriel.
Okay.
I made a choice for the team.
You make your way to the palace of Taldore, through the front doors, and the guards that are there lead you in, and one of them says, "Uriel is waiting within the throne chamber."
I buzz over to that specific guard and say, "Do you have like a lost and found here? I have this really badass serpent-style belt. Sometimes it crawls around on its own, but sometimes it's just a belt. And I lost it here the other night. And I'm really hoping. I mean, it ties everything together."
Check back after you've spoken with the sovereign, please.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you. Leaves you guys on. As you head down the main hallway, and you recall this hallway, this was a long, dangerous trek the first time you came to the palace. This is where Uriel's family was possessed. This is where you had your battle with the Glabrezu. This is where Pike was slain. This is where you had to pull the shadows from the bodies of his family. This is a very, very emotional place that you really haven't been to since that sequence of events. As you're brought into the main chamber, you can see there's the dual thrones for Uriel and his wife. His wife is not present, his family is not present, just Uriel sitting on the throne. There are a few guards on the different entrances to the room. And as you walk in, Uriel just kind of sits there on the throne and gives you acknowledgement and kind of ushers you into the room. You now see on the opposite side of the room, Seeker Asum and Allura walk in, as well as Arbiter Brahm, who's the cleric that is the master of law in the city. And roughly 30 guards enter the chamber quietly. They all kind of filter in, blocking all the exits. The doors close. No weapons are drawn, but there is a very strong showing of muscle in this room that you weren't expecting for this meeting. Uriel stands up, pacing slightly back and forth. "Thank you all for joining me. I must say I am troubled by recent events, and I wish to speak to you regarding them before taking any action. I owe you that much for all you've done for me. Before you left for Vasselheim, you showed immediate interest in the Briarwoods. I've since been notified and seen a bit of the aftermath that you, Vox Machina, seemingly attacked our guests shortly. Please, listen. In their own guest quarters, forcing them to flee after you destroyed the hallway, ruined their carriage, murdered 2 of their guards, and leaving Seeker Assume to witness this entire process. Assume kind of gives a nod. You then tortured the carriage driver, requested he be sent to the dungeon beneath your keep, and upon my sentries returning from Greyskull to deliver him, they find a freshly murdered old woman not far behind the path you took. Not long after, Seeker Assume found me and corroborated most of this unexpected violent behavior. I then asked Arbiter Brom here to divine the nature of this murder, and through his divine sight through the goddess Ayun, comes to tell me it was none other than you, Tiberius, that slaughtered this elderly woman while she slept. Now I am quite disturbed by the events of these past 14 hours, and I would like to hear an explanation. Arbiter, if you could please prepare the space. The Arbiter Brom then steps forward and pulls forth from underneath his robes a necklace that contains a holy symbol, the same symbol you saw across the temple beneath the Slayer's Take, an eye-like inscription of the god Ayun. And kind of looks about you all and prepares this slight hand gesture, and you feel a slight tingle across the skin that just lasts a few seconds, no seeming noticeable effect. Brom nods and steps back in the line of the thrones. I want all of you guys to roll charisma saving throws.
Son of a bitch.
19.
11.
And I rolled a 27.
Nice.
19.
13.
18.
All right, good to know. I've said my piece for the moment. Explain.
Can I do a quick insight check on Hasoon to see if I can still recognize if he's still affected by the mind control thing?
Go ahead and make an insight check, sure.
28.
The way he's looking at you and the general tension and feeling of the room, you gather that Assume is not his normal self completely.
Here's the thing. Percy doesn't like them because they killed his family.
All of them.
They took over his home. He got away. He knows they're scary. We're trying to protect you.
And if you're wondering how we know they're vampires, Max, this is your cue.
Oh yeah,
showed
number
him the
one.
bite already.
Spirit.
I will subject myself to any wizard or mage in this city who you know can ascertain the truth, to look through my eyes, to see my memories. I don't know shit about magic, but there are people who do.
Cleric Tristan also treated him
the Temple of
last
Cerebrae.
night for his vampire inflicted wound. I know this all looks really
Yes.
bad on the surface, and we did not want to cause any disturbance within these hallowed walls.
Of course not.
But there was a danger. We acted perhaps too abruptly and without telling you. And
But we tried to get your attention. I called for you immediately as soon as we knew there was danger. Also, while you are inquiring about him, you might inquire about Seeker Assume.
If you're worried about lies within your own ranks, I think you should start with him.
In fact, I actually might be able to help Seeker Assume if you will allow me to.
I would assign Allura to such an endeavor. However, it has also been noticed that she is grown quite friendly and attached with your group, and in this circumstance, there is question. So, you will be, in a few days, assigned an individual to this ritual of which you are presenting yourself.
Uriel, just let me do a
Yes.
quick restoration spell on Hasoon.
I will, in the good graces and the relationship we forged, allow this. Assume? Are you alright? Assume kind of gives a nod. Well, if this is to be how it is, certainly. And he steps forward, the halfling approaches you. You reach out with greater restoration. You complete the ritual. Moment of clarity and an inhale. Like a slight gasp. Like some realization hits him. And his expression changes and looks towards you and just goes, You get the sense, through the subtlety of physical motion and expression, Asum is telling you, just go with me on this.
Oh.
And Asum goes, my stance has not changed. I know not what she is attempting or thought the situation was, but it appears to me that this was either misinformation or, at least at the time being, hopefully not a lie. But I believe Brahm has taken care of that, yes? And Brahm gives a nod. I certainly have hoped to. Uriel goes, As it stands, I fear I must revoke VOX MACHINA's membership in the Council of Taldore until further notice.
Are we still allowed free reign to roam about as we please? Are we under arrest for anything?
You are not under arrest. You are revoked from the Council, and you will be closely watched until our investigations are complete. I would like very much for this all to be true what you're saying. But do not flee. Do not give an inclination that you attempt to escape this judgment, for we will take that as a sign of guilt. Show that my trust has not been misplaced all this time. As you guys go back out, the doors that you entered, the guards now a little closely following as you exit, leading you out of the palace, down the front steps, and essentially stand at the front of the palace gates.
I'm sorry, I was just talking to one of your friends. Have you seen a belt that is shaped like a snake? Sometimes it moves around on its own and it answers to the name Simon, but usually it's just a belt and looks really cool. Have you seen it? Is there a lost and found I can check out? It's very dear to me.
I think you've got more important matters to deal with before you go looking for a belt, sir.
It's actually a really...
Where's that other guy? He was more receptive to this.
The guards all turn around and start ascending the stairs.
It's on all the fan art. It really makes sense to have it. On me. No?
They don't appear to be listening.
Keep an eye out for it. 100 gold to any chap who finds it and holds onto it for me.
Two
right?
of them stop in their step for a second, and then keep walking.
I'm a nice guy.
Go make a persuasion roll.
Hey.
You're gonna get like 6 belts thrown at you.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
weird.
6.
It was a brief pause,
Really nice.
but also a brief pause. So you're now currently there in the cobblestone street of the Cloudtop District, removed from the Council of Taldore and left in this interesting circumstance.
Keyleth, what happened? Your magic didn't work.
No, it worked. He gave me like a...
What do you think it
What
means?
does that mean? Does that mean Uriel's under their control? I don't understand.
Is he playing some sort of long game here?
It must mean that we have something to fear from Uriel. Or someone else close. Hey, don't we have a prisoner?
Oh, shit.
Can't we question the
no,
prisoner?
is he like bleeding out? What if
No,
he's dead?
I-
We're so screwed.
No, I made sure. I made sure.
Yeah, the
Rosalie.
little kid, the guy that Percy shot the hand off of.
I cauterized his wounds, remember?
You,
We could question him. He could have proof.
you hear the quick footsteps of Allura rushing from the palace, now kind of running towards you guys.
Saving
like-
the day. Again.
And she looks to you, Tiberius, and says, "You didn't, did you? Please tell me you did not kill that woman."
Oh, I absolutely did.
But she was attacking us.
It looks bad, but she was a threat.
Brom's divination is very clear. He divined that the woman was currently filled with fear, attempting to flee, and unconscious when she was murdered. I know not what happened here, and I heard what you said, and I honestly do not trust the Briarwoods myself either. There was something about that meal and the conversation and the presence that just put me off entirely. It was strange. Vampirism is a bit beyond what I was expecting, and I did sense some powerful, masqueraded arcane essence from Lady Briarwood. Look, I would recommend for this to do your best to be thorough in this. Bring back any and all information you can. From the words I hear, you probably have at best a few weeks.
What sort of proof do you think they would accept? The head of Lady Briarwood?
It'll disappear the minute we kill her or something. They're vampires. I don't know what they do.
She kind of gives a thought to that. She goes, interestingly enough, if an artifact or an item brought forth from them could be divined, that should tell all. And she reaches into a pocket and brings out your earring of transcription.
Oh, thank you so much, Lady Laura.
As she hands it to you, she gives you a really, really concerned look. And it hits you. It's a look of disappointment with a hint of heartbreak.
Oh, it's the worst. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Oh.
I've already said more than I should. Good luck. You guys make your way back to Grayskull Keep.
There's dudes at the
Two
keep.
individuals waiting for you at the gate. You can see at a distance, but you don't recognize.
There are handlers. Probably.
Big brother.
As you walk up and you get close, you get a better view. You're expecting ominous, armored guards, somebody possibly assigned to escort you. Instead, you're greeted by what looks to be an older couple waiting at the gate. A man and a woman, dressed in simple clothes, weathered skin, and as you call out to them, they both smile. You can see deep-set smile lines
We
in their
hate
faces.
old people.
Who are you?
Favorite enemy.
We come to you humbly, as representatives of the farming community just north of Iman's walls. I am Riley Klaus, and this is my husband, Ben. Pleasure to meet you.
Hi.
You see, many of us here, we make our living through livestock and small crops. Over the past 2 weeks, a number of our finest cows and sheep have gone missing. We suspected thieves initially, but we set up our neighbor's boy, Kyle, to watch over them till sunrise, and he saw the culprit. From what he described, a giant bird, larger than anything he's ever seen or heard of. Ben then takes over the conversation. Wings at least 10 carts long, tip to tip. Just swooped down, he said, without sound, and in one motion snatched up one of our most virile bull. Mr. Sims, just gone like that.
Mr. Sims?
That was the bull.
Oh.
Riley says, Kyle said he saw it fly northwest. Now, we've talked with the leaders of the farming community this side of Amon, and well, we've scrounged up what we could, and we can set up a couple of point verses, and she goes, 512 gold pieces, 37 silver, and 103 copper. That's all we can spare.
You know what?
Would you esteemed
Keep
heroes?
your money.
Yes, keep your money.
We can't possibly.
What about
Please.
this? What if you supplied us with a small stream of produce for our servants here at the keep? For cooking, for feeding them, for feeding us when we're here? That'd be a sight less than 500. It wouldn't be nothing. You would still give us something.
Yes, we could. We'd be more than happy to.
I take him by
Good
the
for
hand
us.
and say, "We will see you presently. We will see you presently."
We look forward to hearing from you in the next day. So,
You will.
as you guys have all returned to the keep, down to the basement area, the cellar has been closed. The keys for it are hanging on the nail bite. You guys have not used the cell to this point, and it is technically pristine and unused since the construction of the keep. There is no thatch. Nothing has been put in to really mark a comfortable floor. And hanging from manacles.
Oh God.
He's hanging.
Yeah, he's
We're
hanging.
the worst.
Yeah, we're those
He was put in as a prisoner to guards who
Oh, God.
have a certain way of putting
I go
prisoners
and get the
into a
keys
cell.
and I take him down from the manacles.
What?
Okay.
Hey there. Welcome back.
Where am I?
You are being held at the moment for your own safety.
How? He kind of looks at his hand.
We're pretty sure the Briarwoods are gonna be pissed as hell that you let the carriage get hit. So we're just trying to protect you, really.
Do we not feel like terrible people enough
Let's not
already
have this
today?
conversation in front of the prisoner. What's your
I'm
name,
just
boy?
pointing it out.
My name is Desmond.
Desmond.
Everyone is at risk. The Briarwoods are bad people. You can attest to this, yes?
Yes.
Can you tell us everything you know about them?
It's strange. I mean, after the brutality of that first night, it took days before the people of Whitestone knew what had happened. By then, the Briarwoods called a town meeting, where they explained their new rule over the town. A number objected. Many strong-willed folk in Whitestone those days. And they were subsequently shot down at Arrow Point. They then dragged out the noble families and executed them, gifting their property and titles to the various cutthroats and mercenaries they had hired to help them take the town. They're not just two people. They've used a lot of money and influence from wherever they came from. A number of families fled into the woods the night after the executions. They were all found hanging from the sun tree the next morning. We were given food, kept our immediate property, and as long as we didn't attempt to leave, we were promised safety. That lasted for a few years, until the nobles grew bored. They began to abuse the people of Whitestone, scare us for fun, brand, cut, steal the children, leave them back destroyed. They treat us like animals. I was beaten so bad by my employer, Count Tyleri. But Lord Briarwood noticed. He saw wounds on my back when he was meeting with Count Tyleri. When he asked me in private how I got them, I couldn't lie. And he told me this unrefined violence was boorish to him and his wife, and that was the last I ever saw of Lord Tyleri. Lord and Lady Briarwood took me in as their own driver and showed me Tyleri hanging from that same sun tree the next morning. I was thankful then. In a strange way, life had been so terrible for so long. It was the first time I saw someone reach out and save me. But the more I got to know the Briarwoods, the more nightmarish I realized they were. Behind the walls of that castle was no longer a grand fortress that we heard was. That was a domain of perverse magics and sacrilege. It was. The same servants still run the halls, but they aren't living. They're walking vessels of undeath. The garden in back lies shriveled, a foul green mist forever pouring out. They're excavating something in the dungeon. They bring up old things, ancient things, relics, books, bones. You live in that world long enough, you believe there is no way out. Death would be easy. But I've seen that death has no real end there. And it's just the beginning of a whole new terrible existence.
If we keep you here, protected, would you be willing to tell your story to someone else?
Who would you want me to tell it to?
The Emperor? An army that could go and fight the Briarwoods?
Maybe. This whole conversation, the emotional recalling of everything you could see has been very taxing on him, and in his kind of still partially, mostly conscious state, he looks exhausted, scared, and still trying to kind of suss out all the information coming at him right now.
Totally.
Grog, why don't you carry the bed down from upstairs?
Exactly what I was going to ask.
Not a problem.
Takes roughly about 20 minutes and 3 trips, but you managed to get the bed down there from the guest room.
Not a problem, not a problem.
It's one of those things when you fit it in the cell, and it is not a large cell. It's maybe 10 by 10 feet maximum. As you see Grog walking back down the stairway, right around the corner, her shoulder, listening in, is a person, and you recognize that it is Percy. Percy has stepped out of the workshop and apparently has been hearing everything this entire time.
Briarwoods gave your brain a tickle.
Him away from me.
Right.
Who is that?
He's a friend. I know it doesn't seem like it from the condition of your paw, but he's a friend. He's just, he's in the same boat as you, trying to stay safe from danger.
We assure you.
Briarwoods destroyed his family as well.
Kind of lies in the bed and takes the plate up with him and starts just scarfing some of the bread rolls down and immediately starts going for the mashed potatoes. And it's just like, you can see a decent meal hasn't been had in quite a while, especially the journey, what is essentially a 7-8 day journey from Whitestone, probably was not been very kind to him.
Do you want to go check out that bird creature at the farmhouse tonight?
Yes. Well, we've stationed a guard down there?
We should.
can,
We have
yes.
5 or 6.
All right, we'll get Jarrett. Oh, Jarrett!
You make your way to the back part of the wall, and there is a small tower that's constructed as part of the back wall. That's where Jarrett usually keeps watch, and as you call to him, Jarrett leans over. And you see him, jet black hair, darker complexion, handsome, younger kind of early 20s guy, well-dressed over his studded leather armor that he wears underneath and has the crossbow on the side. He leans over. Scanlan, it's been some time. What can I be of service for?
We need you to watch a prisoner for us downstairs in our jail cell. You'll be guarding the prisoner to make sure he doesn't escape, but also making sure he stays safe. He possesses information that's very valuable to us. And one of the people who hires you might try to kill him. So if Percy tries to go in there, can you stop him without hurting either party?
I imagine this would be very well suited for my skill set. It will be strange to keep watch against one of my employers, but he's been a bit sheepish around me anyway.
You think you can take Percy?
Well, I think at least I can talk some sense into him.
I like him.
Wow!
He's a badass, this guy.
That's awesome.
So, you guys make your way around the outskirts of Iman under moonlight to the farm vicinity on the north side of the city. It doesn't take long for you to eventually suss out the house that matches the description that you were given. You knock on the door and they eagerly greet your arrival and kind of invite you in. I'm so glad y'all can make it. Have you decided? Have you?
We're here to help.
We're
We're
here
the
to kill
heroes
some
that you
giant
asked
birds.
We love old people.
Thank you. That's really good of you.
for. Where are your livestock kept?
The livestock are kept on the eastern side of this community. If you look about a half a mile, that whole vicinity is where most of these attacks seem to be coming. So that's probably your best bet there. You guys make your way over there. It's easy to find. There's large pins.
Can
I bet there's one out there.
Do I see any cowbells on the ground?
One of the fences that fences in the cows. There is a cowbell. Yes.
Hey, there's a cowbell.
Great. It will help the ruse. Here's my plan.
Okay.
We're all cows. Is that an okay plan?
I like it.
I'm kind of into this plan.
All right, I
But
guess-
doesn't that essentially make us the bait?
Yes, we're our own bait.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you got that thing.
Yes, I'll be fine.
Cow or no, Keyleth?
What
Give
thing?
us your answer.
Oh, I'm a cat.
What thing?
Seeming.
Oh, we're not actually cows.
What's going on? We'll just seem like cows.
Well, then yes, we'll all be cows.
What do you think?
Yeah. Does
I
he want veal
like
or
it.
does he
I'll
want?
allow it.
We want to get in the
30-foot
pen
radius.
first, right?
Yes, let's go in the pen.
Yeah, okay, let's all get
If I
into the
may,
cows.
I'm going to wear the cowbell.
You've earned it.
It's camouflage.
Oh, you take
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah.
This is why. This is why.
Let's be cows. Let's
I
be
have to
cows.
give you experience for that. As you all gather around the small gnome, currently adorned with a dull bung, 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 bung around his neck, you complete the spell, and with a sudden whoosh of cold night air, your vision blurs and you kind of blink for a second and look around, and Vox Machina is now instead an array of slightly smaller than average cows.
Oh wait, no.
You are, by the way, you're more of a calf.
You're
like
so
a-
cute, Scanlan.
Boy, if Uriel could see us now.
I cast Speak with Animals.
This is the best Vox Machina adventure ever. All right, you cast Speak with Animals.
Is there a cluster of nice-looking ladies sitting around?
All the cows are clustered in this one corner, kind of up against each other for body warmth, and there are a few that are kind of like,
Hello, ladies. Good evening.
what are you doing? We're trying to sleep.
Have you seen a giant bird flying around
at
anyone?
which point all the cows kind of like start shutting around like, well, yes, haven't you? They keep taking us. Why do you think we're hiding under this?
Oh, sure.
Careful, if you stay out there, it'll see you.
Where exactly? Where? Have they been? Okay.
What's up?
Can you tell?
What vital information have you learned?
I'll get back to you. 1 second.
So nothing.
Can you tell me anything about what it looks like?
It's big and has wings. It's fast and it keeps taking us.
Does it seem to come at a certain time of night?
There you go. She knew
The
it.
dark time.
It's a
It's a cow.
It's a cow.
The cows.
I, for once, and it's not weird, I just shit on the floor. Seems totally normal.
We are in it, baby.
You guys make your way out to the middle and you wait a while, a good probably 2-hour period as cows. You, keeping your eye to the sky with your arrow nock, see a whisk of shadow kind of across the moonlight. At this point, you guys look up and you notice you see something circle once.
Oh shit.
It looks like a bird, it's just not as big as you were expecting. As it swoops down, you see this bird just gets larger and larger and realize it was quite a distance away, and now that it's getting closer, it is, the tales you've heard are true. This, at least 100-foot wingspan, if not more, as it dives down with extreme speed, goes, just goes into a dive. You are immediately attempting to be grasped in its talons.
Moo!
23 to hit.
Ooh,
That hits.
boy.
Take 23 points of slashing damage, and you are currently grappled. As whoosh, it takes right back up into the air. Everyone roll initiative. You have advantage on it because you were knocked, and because you're ready to react, you have advantage on your initiative check. But everyone else just roll normally.
I'm gonna shoot it through the blazing bowstring.
Okay, go for it. Roll for the attack.
16,
16 hits.
26.
26 points of damage. Alrighty.
And then I'm gonna shoot it again.
Go for it.
26.
Yeah, it is.
26 again.
Alrighty. Nice.
Judging by the fairly close of appearance I have of him at this point, can I tell he's probably of beast nature?
At the sheer size, it's hard to tell. You've never encountered a beast of this size, but you do look up and you can see the talons that are currently holding you in place and kind of piercing the sides of your armor and they're forcing you are bird-like talons, and you do see a series of dark feathers coating the entire underbelly of this entity.
Okay, I'm gonna attempt to cast Dominate Beast.
Okay. So you finish casting the spell. Apparently this entity is not affected by the spell.
Fuck sticks.
It's not a beast.
It's not a beast.
Boy.
It's a pigeon.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
That's my turn, right?
that's your turn. For this creature's turn, it just does a full double dash at its full flight speed and is about 250 feet away from you and completely out of your guys' reach. You see it up into the sky, disappearing kind of north-northwest area beyond Iman, carrying Keyleth in its claws.
Is it our turn yet?
It now comes to Scanlan's turn.
Okay, a dimension door.
What's the range on Dimension Door?
500 feet.
You and appear where? Where do you want to appear?
On it. On its back.
Okay. You appear right on its back. You immediately like land and start sliding back as the wind is pushing on you. And the feathers themselves, and due to the aerodynamic nature of its flight path, it's a lot of wind resistance against
Make
you.
an acrobatics check.
No, I was going there. Don't worry. This is what it is. You need to go ahead and make an acrobatics check to see if you can maintain balance on the back of this
Oh
beast.
god.
20.
You manage to you tumble backward a little bit, you grab a couple of feathers and get yourself just on the side underneath where the wing meets the part of the upper torso, where the wind resistance is the least amount, and you manage to hold on.
As my bonus action,
Okay.
I will inspire Keyleth. The way you kick so much ass like nobody else. The way you do animal things gets me overwhelmed. You don't know. You don't know you're powerful. That's what makes you powerful.
Due to the wind, you don't hear the last line. It's too loud around it, but however, you do take a D10 inspiration dice. Which, for the record, this currently right now looks like you see the cow clutched below, and currently there is a cow holding on to this.
At 5th level, I go myself. 1, 2, 3. I cast Fly on all of us. Fly, you fools!
Fly, you fools, fly!
And go right after him.
All right.
I hope we don't get in trouble for fleeing anymore.
The cows take off into the night sky.
I love Dungeons and Dragons. You guys can go 120 feet every turn. It can go 240. After a while, on the edge of the shoreline, you come upon the coastal mountains known as the Shoreline Summit. It's a series of unusually steep mountain bluffs that hug the coastline northwest of Iman. At this point, you've lost sight of the bird.
Do I have a turn yet? Can I do anything?
You can go ahead and take your turn now too, yes?
Yeah?
Yep.
I cast Polymorph on it.
Oh shit.
Out of thematic reasons, I also turn him into a cow.
That's amazing.
Rolled 1.
cow!
Giant flying bird. It just begins to plummet at an extremely fast speed. You guys are now both plummeting
Yeah.
and falling at a really, really rapid speed.
I go
Flailing
eagle
cows.
form.
You go eagle form. Zoom. You're fine.
I will become a pterodactyl.
So you're casting.
Polymorph on myself?
Okay. Because you are falling, I'm gonna have to ask you to make a concentration check to complete the spell.
Come on, Scanlan!
That's a natural 20.
But you guys are both now transformed into an eagle and a pterodactyl,
But we look
but
like
you
cows.
still look like cows. About this time,
This
you
is
hear
utterly ridiculous.
you hear a loud, impactful, and there's a cloud of dust. You hear this loud screeching sound, and you see now where there was a little poop cloud, these wings unfold and whoosh, whoosh. The rest of you guys continue to give chase. As this progresses, like it's far beyond any of you guys.
Is the mountain
in a matter
range
of
like
seconds.
really far away?
No, it's you just hit the outskirts of the mountain range.
Okay.
It got there first. You guys just catch up to where it starts, and you see it's like now it's dodged between a few of the mountains and is currently no longer in sight. A lot of the mountains are spire-like. They come up with very, very sheer sides, and you can see why this mountain range is largely not utilized or traversed or generally spoken of often, because it's too dangerous for most average folk to even attempt to climb or use for any good reason. Over about 5 minutes of searching through this mountain range, you sense that its movement eventually comes to a stop.
Okay.
There's a nest. Could be a nest.
No.
You come around this one bend and you can see one of the larger mountainous spires that has a lot of trees and kind of green growth towards the top at certain places where the rock kind of juts out and gives a shelf for such greenery to grow. You do see a couple of wings kind of enfold in against the moonlight in what looks to be an outcropping. And there are multiple layers of kind of rock shelves on the side of this mountain, and on one of these outcroppings there appears to be some sort of a giant nest that's just nestled against where the shadow and the moonlight kind of are fighting for some sort of visual on it. The large bird creature has kind of folded its wings and is currently like kind of leaning down, and you see something in the nest that's kind of much smaller and moving up next to it.
Oh my god, Mama.
But she's killing the
Killing the farmer's cows.
A voice rings out against the darkness. Flying cows? Really? I care not for this insolence. If you've come to mock me or fight me, do it now.
I'm gonna roll.
Or leave this creature alone.
I yell out, "You've been stealing the farmer's livestock. Give us a reason not to kill you."
That's good.
Your nature confuses me and your words seem ill-informed. If you're not going to come to speak of discourse, I'm going to assume that you're my enemy.
Well, and then as he's saying that, I'll approach.
So Tiberius' cow goes,
And as I approach the thing,
we shake
I'm
off
going
the cow?
to dispel magic.
Even if he wants.
okay, cool. Tiberius' form shimmers and returns back to that of a dragonborn.
Oh.
You see there up against this bird, and the bird itself is like twitching and looks like it's hurt, not like deeply hurt, but hurt. You see a small humanoid, pretty small, like Scanlan small. Hard to make out details, but it is currently in the process of doing a repeated hand motion and then touching, and a hand motion and then touching, and you've seen this motion before.
Touching what?
Touching the bird. There is a perpetual string of cure wounds being applied to this bird.
I land beside Tiberius and come out of eagle form. Tiberius, will you please dispel this cow form from me? Please? Please? Thank you.
Okay, and with that, you cast Dispel Magic, and Keyleth's form reverts that to Keyleth, normal Keyleth, non-cow Keyleth. The gnome character now has like the staff in the back and has the hand in front, and it's like,
Come, friend.
You a druid. I'm also a druid. I think our goals might be in line.
then why do you follow? Why do you insist on harming this
Because
creature?
we were seeking justice for other people.
What? For the civilized folk of the city? You should know more than most. They sit there, taking beautiful creatures of nature, making them fat and formless and worth nothing, to just slaughter them without life and purpose to their existence.
I know.
The life and
They pulled
purpose of
them-
their existence is to keep those other people alive and the towns
And?
in them.
Why is it not the same with this creature? If they cannot guard their livestock, why is it not food for this thing as well?
When one has an establishment, when one grows its own crop, and one steals something, it is considered a crime.
Well, when one is not part of that civilization, but the civilization of the world as a whole, which requires hunting for what keeps you alive, perhaps that does not sink or hang on my conscience.
Let's
That's a fair point.
not let this escalate. What is your name?
I was once called Byron, but I've not heard my name nor spoken words for many years. This beautiful creature is the only surviving young of a clutch, bred by a majestic rock high in the Cliffkeep Mountains. Its mother now lies dead, slain by the brutal giants that wander those peaks.
Giants.
This youngin' is all that remains of that clutch and the memory of that blessed entity.
That's a youngin'?
Whoa.
This is the young one.
Oh, temple snap. That's terrible.
This new home serves us well.
If this is a young, adolescent creature, what do you think of the destruction it could cause once it reaches full adulthood? Are you okay with having that on your conscience? This creature could result in the lives of many.
Do you think we came straight to this mountain range? Do you think this is the first nest we've constructed? Me and this lone survivor have scoured the length of this side of Taldore. This, as far as I can see, is the safest. It's the most ignored by nearby civilization.
Listen,
I'm gonna drop seeming and also drop my form of
Okay, all of you now,
pterodactyl.
your forms change, and as this happens mid-sentence, it's noticed immediately by the gnome druid who's like,
we are being nice. Don't think that we will be the first. You will have more people come and hunt you and kill this as this beast continues.
you have yet to provide a suitable alternative.
What about Vasselheim? Not in the city, but like outside of it. There's plentiful forests, tons of giant creatures it can feed on.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
That actually is fairly true.
Those townspeople have a dastardly
There's
problem.
so many
keeping
monsters
these
out
monsters
there.
up.
They don't hunt them all because
Can
there's
be
like
easy
too
food
many.
for it. That's a wonderful idea, Vex.
And we have friends in Vasselheim. We can contact the Slayer's Take. We're a part of their guild. We can tell them that you're coming. They will not bother you. We can tell them they are not allowed to take out a contract on your creature.
Okay,
You will not be
bring
harmed.
up contracts, Caleb. Maybe just don't even bring it up.
Because they don't have mercenaries out there. It has to be like approved. So it's really good. It's
And
better
what's
for you.
to stop them from hunting down a majestic creature as rare as this one?
Us.
Trust me.
You, who live here in Amon.
No, us who are members of the guild.
We're members
So
of the
you
guild.
also are monster slayers, who come here under the guise to slay this monster.
No, not here. Other places that we're forced to do it, but still we're members and we can take advantage of our membership.
Too much.
Can we kill this
talk.
thing now?
No.
You guys are doing awesome.
Yep. Listen, and I start speaking in gnome to him.
Oh yeah, do that.
Listen, earlier you said that this place was perfect. It was safe. There were no large predators. Well, you're looking at 6 large predators, and we'll keep hunting you down and hunting your beast down until you get out of here. So this is your one and only warning. You must leave, and you must leave now. We're giving you a good choice, a safe choice, and we can help you get there and be safe there. But if you don't listen to us, we'll start killing.
Makes persuasion roll.
32.
For Reynolds, baby.
Why didn't we leave?
He gives you a look, very intense, looking into your very essence type stare. His little beady gnomish eyes meeting yours. If we're going to make this journey to where you say this Vasselheim is, how far is it?
Several days' journey.
It's just across the water. You could fly no problem over it.
Across the sea.
We can draw you a map. We can give you provisions. We'll even make sure that the farmers provide you with a few pieces of livestock to chow down on before the journey.
A parting gift.
Parting gift to fuel up before the big ride. We can give you papers to hand to the Slayer's Take that will ensure that you'll be treated fairly.
I'll take out my scroll subscription and start writing a note.
Okay.
Because I left one over there.
He looks
I'll do it now.
back towards Keyleth, looks back at Scanlan, looks back at Keyleth, looks up at the bird. Looks like we don't have much of a choice, do we? If you can assure us enough food to get across on this journey, we'll make our way towards this Vasselheim, and I pray on the solidarity between our kin that you speak the truth that resonates this moment.
I'll flip over the note that I'm writing to him, and then I trigger it as he's reading it.
As the sun rises, 2 sizable pieces of livestock to be placed at the boundaries of the usual hunting site. If those are there, and it is taken without any sort of aggression, we'll take that as a sign that you are being honest, and we shan't bother you or your people any further.
I bow deeply, and when I do, it goes ding ding ding.
For a moment, you think you hear a slight, uncontrollable chuckle from the gnome.
Can I see if there's any feathers dropped from the giant bird creature?
There are a handful around.
Can I grab a few of them?
As you go and reach up, slaps you across the knuckles.
Can I have a feather that he dropped?
Why?
Because they're big and they're fluffy.
Because they're beautiful.
Yes.
You have to admit they're beautiful.
Elves.
I know it.
Thank you.
Now go, now!
Okay.
My patience wears thin.
Bye.
Through with talking words.
Sorry.
Alright, I'll burn another 5th level, and then fly us all out.
Okay.
Or you guys, you can fly too, but...
You guys coast back to the north side of Iman. You go to the door where the Klaus family is, and you speak with them for a while, and you manage to convince them of the situation and what seems to be a mutually positive circumstance. They agree it's better to lose 2 cows than
I pay them
continue
for
this.
their 2 cows.
Do you? Okay.
Being nice, man.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you helping with this. And you promised this will.
Yes, just put them out in the open field.
We'll take them.
Oh,
on
we'll
the
take
edge
them?
of the
Yeah,
hunting
we'll put them
grounds.
out there.
We'll
Stake
put
'em.
Okay, we'll take care of it.
Yes.
You guys take 2 of the cows. You bring them to the outskirts. You with rope tied around their neck. You essentially hitching post them to the outside of into this kind of open area, about 20-30 feet from the actual holding pen. A few hours go by, and the sun slowly begins to rise. You can see some of the farmers come out, kind of anxiously watching from their homes, and you see different families now kind of gathering. You see the wings beating in the air, and it swoops down and grabs 2 of them, and you can see some of the families like gasp and like rush inside, and some are just amazed to see this even happen. It takes the 2, carries up, and heads out over the Osmit Sea, passing to the northwest side, and over the next 30 or so minutes, it just slowly disappears into the horizon until it's no longer visible.
Wonderful.
The sun rose, right?
Right.
Can I make a beer check?
You may.
2, 0.
That beginnings of the other side of your beard slowly begins to set in.
What happens to the existing set?
The existing side has kind of rounded itself off to a nice beard. Like it's pretty much where it's going to be on that side. The other side's just now starting to finally catch up. And that's where we're going to end it.
Yeah!
On a positive beer check.
Look what Kit got.
What is it?
Those are amazing.
Dragon tooth daggers. Oh.
What? Who got those for you?
Kit.
Kit!
What? Thanks, Kit. I will kill something in your honor.
You gotta be shitting me.
What did you get?
For Grog, on that magical day when you grow a proper dwarven beard, this is my first ever attempt at crocheting. I really hope you like it. I'm a fan of all of you guys.
Are you kidding
Oh my god! What? That's amazing. What?
Shave
Gotta
this,
wear the parade
bitch.
fair.
Come here.
I would like to beard.
That's amazing.
I got business cards.
Very warm.
Business cards?
Yes. Burt Reynolds, attorney at Small.
That is awesome.
That's fantastic.
Wow.
What?
That's great.
Wait, who sent these?
Thank you. This is a wonderful.
It doesn't say who sent them.
This was from Ash. I didn't say that. Ash, you're awesome.
That's amazing, Ash.
You're awesome, Ash.
Oh my god.
That's so cool. You've never been more attractive.
I know it.
Thank you all again so much from all of us to you. All the love. Thank you for watching. Thank you for this. And we'll see you next week.
Love you guys.
Thank you so much.
Good night. Happy Christmas.